The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned.
So, hey, welcome back, everyone. A bit of an impromptu session, so we'll have a catch up on what happened last time. So the party found themselves...
Apologies for this episode. It's going to be cut multiple times due to not having a premium Zoom account right now.
This could be splices.
Yes. Probably about 3 splices or so. So when it randomly does that in the video, just don't worry about it. Sorry, Scotty.
Yes, future Scott, we apologize.
We do.
So, last time, the party was finding themselves in the Horde of 1,000 Worlds. That was in the horde of a legendary laser dragon, which they believed to be dead. After having taken some of the dragon's treasure, however, they soon found out that the legendary laser dragon was in fact still very much undead, and not completely dead. So, dodging several large planet-destroying laser blasts, the party managed to escape in the Penguin King, or in the ship, and then made exit on the Penguin King rather quickly. So, the adventures of the squad we have here, of the Penguin King, as we will just use for now, managed to escape and make their way back to the space station, where they decided some much-needed R&R was necessary, and perhaps some shopping. Alert, or A163RT, for those of you who don't speak lead speak, he just said that he could turn the treasure from the Dragon's Hoard, gemstones excluded, into credits so that the party could use them. And Meriel has the connections with the bounty hunter and other illicit activities to pawn off of the blank credits and the gemstones for actual credits at a pretty low exchange rate. So I'm going to round up the general party treasure that you have based on the value of the some of the currency, which was so very old or from outdated empires of history that it was actually worth more money as a history piece than it was turned into a credit stick. And then some of the gemstones were so rare in their creation that they were valuable for certain magical needs. So they were worth a little more in that sense too. Altogether, from the gold that was acquired by Mavwolf, and who else took treasure?
Oh, I was a greedy motherfucker.
Okay, I thought it was you and Mavwolf, but I wasn't sure. So the two that took treasure, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure was Mavwolf and Zora.
Talurra showed restraint because she was trying to make sure everyone got out safely.
Right. Sorry, Eisen and Zora. Sorry, I'm saying his name and not his character. Mm-hmm. Eisen and Zora took quite a bit of the treasure on their awakening the dragon in the first place. And then everyone decided it was best to leave as soon as possible with their lives. But thankfully, you did manage to scrounge about 4,000 credits from your haul taken there from the dragon. Well, at least that's what Meriel was able to get for you through the black market. You think it might have been worth more than that, but there's a finder's fee, and then you have to pay the person to sell it, so 4,000's pretty decent.
And can I also add on the selfie of that captain we killed?
Yep.
Because I want credit for that.
Oh, yes. No, the bounty for the captain you killed, Captain... He was Captain... what was his name? Sorry, I made it to my notes.
All good.
I made it really small, and that was a mistake. I'm like, I won't need this anymore. And I made it really small so I would know that I read it already. And now I'm like, crap, I need this again. And it's in size 4 font. Captain Flint.
That's right.
For having the head of the six-eyed dragonborn, Captain Flint, who you believe is actually, or was actually, a living descendant of the laser dragon itself. At least that's what you heard from the person who bought the head from the bounty for that. So on top of the 4,000 you get for the loot from the party treasure there, the captain's head grants you another 1,500 credits. because apparently he pissed off the wrong people.
All right.
Good for you. Bad for him.
And then the third, we have one more thing though. We have that obsidian knife too.
Ah,
Which I'm
yes.
assuming we're gonna sell too, because let's be. I'm more of saying that to Meriel than anyone else. Because
I mean, it would be a shame if we didn't at least figure out what it is first.
then we'll meet someone who's a specialist. We'll try to find a specialist.
all right. You look for a specialist in the space station. Amongst the bounty hunters you know here, Meriel, most of them tell you to speak to a hooded figure that only shows up once every 7 days, and usually has like a weird shadowy tentacle to his hood that he has. It's very strange. No one questions what he is, but they know that he sells crap.
God damn it.
Why
No
do
one
you
knows
even-
something.
I know who that is.
I know, he's a nightmare.
Fucking sir.
Yeah, fucking Zer.
Mm-hmm. So you find Zora during your R&R, which I'm going to say you guys took at least a week, maybe 2, just to kind of relax and unwind and fix things and repair stuff. And
Also, make sure that we don't have a giant Draco Lich coming after us.
Right. Make sure that you're not leading the Dracolich to the next mission, which is the Haunted Ring World. So you were given that mission by the scientist of Skyad, who told you that was the next big thing they wanted you to help them with. And the reward could be, well, the exact words they told you were, the reward would be gigantic. Not sure if that meant money or something else, because they didn't list a value of money. They just said gigantic.
And we accept it because we're idiots who are curious of either way, whichever way this could go, this reward.
The thought of having an entire mega structure of a ring world to explore / loot / pillage itself is probably most of the reward, you think. So you're not sure what they meant by gigantic as far as rewards go, but maybe they have something else in mind. So you find Zer, and I don't have a synthesized voice, so bear with me while I do an attempt. My voice is not synthesized in any way for this, so it's not going to sound as cool as his does, but you approach and Zer says, "So, what can I do for you?" His voice sounding kind of ghostly and fading in and out ever so slightly.
Well, we heard around the place that you could tell us something about this item we found, and I just wanted to figure out more about it before I get a case of buyer or seller's remorse.
Of course. There is a low fee of 100 credits to identify the item.
I think that's fine.
You pay the 100 credits, and Zer holds the box in his shadowy gloved hand. It's sort of like a mist of shadow seems to leak off of this out of the sleeve of his hand. It seems to dissipate into the air. It doesn't congeal on the ground around him, thankfully, but it looks really weird and creepy. You're not sure what verse he's from, but you're pretty sure you don't want anything to do with it. This item is rare indeed. Could be worth quite a bit. But then again, its usefulness could also be interesting in the right hands. Requires a bit of sadism for its use, unfortunately. This blade has no name, simply a set of numbers and an identification. Humans gave it when they found it on Earth. It was a relic there, a cursed item of long past. The ancient past, from what I understand. It hails from a very long ago place. This blade, the humans called SCP-034. If you skin a creature with it, based on the size of the chunk of skin you take off of the living or dead body, it doesn't matter. You can then use that skin to place onto your own and become as them physically. You will look just the same as them. Your DNA will be the same as theirs. You'll pass all sorts of tests or examinations, but your mind will still be yours. This effect lasts an amount of time variable to the amount of skin you take from them. A small piece could be 10 minutes. A large piece could be an hour. You get the point. If you skin someone completely, it's an entire day. However, the item needs a period of time to cool down after it's been used. About a week.
Fascinating.
The right buyer would pay quite a bit for it. The ability to bypass DNA scanners would be interesting in the hands of the right thief. I could pawn it for you, of course. That is, if you're willing to part with it. You think he's smiling, but you're not sure.
Hey, other thief Talurra, what do you think?
Well, it'd be useful on one hand. On the other, selling it could get us a lot of money. Right?
Yeah.
Do we think we're going to need to bypass any DNA scanners in any time soon?
I mean, I don't know what we're gonna find in this next adventure.
I doubt that we'll need something this thorough for that.
With the Skyad level of what they gave you for the Haunted Ring World, and that's not what they're calling it, but that's literally the name of the quest they gave you in your PDAs.
It's what it says.
You're not sure why they, right? Yeah, you do know they gave you a master key, which should unlock any and all doors you encounter. However, that doesn't mean there's not going to be a use for bypassing a DNA scanner. Oh, one more thing. The process is quite painful. I should have mentioned that earlier. Both for you and the person you're cutting the skin off of.
Generally, scanning a person isn't very pleasant.
Mind you, they must have the same number of limbs that you do, so this won't work on something that has more limbs than you. Or less.
I think our best bet is just to sell it because we can get something different with that money, right?
We could.
You also know that Zora sells a series of AI that you can install on any spaceship to assist with navigation or to watch over the ship or just to generally give you someone else to talk to while you're in the depths of space. And Zora also sells, let me get to my... Zora also sells modifications that you can use for your spaceships. Some unique, some not necessarily.
I wonder what skins we can get for this ship.
Pretty much, yeah.
We have a white ship, we want a red ship.
yeah.
But yeah, I think selling is the best course of action for now. Right? We can always find something else to do roughly its job.
True.
Also, all else fails, we just don't get caught.
That's fair. How much would you be willing to pay for this?
Oh, an artifact of this particular nature could go for 2,000 credits.
2,200 and we got a deal.
You drive a hard bargain. But seeing as there's only one of these in the whole verse, 2,200 it is.
Pleasure doing business with you.
And with you. If you have any other strange items you wish to sell, or things you wish to have found, I'll be here once a week.
What day is it on this particular day of the week?
Saturday.
It's always the same day.
It's always
I don't know
Saturday.
why.
Okay.
It's always Saturday.
Also, so from that entire thing, we got 7,700 gold total.
Boop.
Quite a bit of credits.
Mm-hmm.
Boo-doo.
I'm trying to think of how many people we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn, we're so close. We've got 88. We could have divided 1,100 each person.
Maybe I should have asked what would have gotten us up to a round number.
All else fails, we just do what I like to do, which is just group fund, subtract when you need it. It does work the best, I find.
Well, because then if somebody needs something that's more useful, that would be more useful to the group if they had it.
That is why I put it into the group chat. I'm not sure how much we're going to have, like... I don't know how much is going to be split, because I don't know how much Zora is going to give back to the group. Or same with Eisen, too.
I mean, I guess if we're going to be fair, if they're the ones that got the stuff in the first place...
We are the ones
they
who let them get off the place, though.
Hey, you could have shut that gate on me at any point in time.
I really
After all
could.
of
What's
them
your life
characters
worth? What's your life worth to you?
Mine? Absolutely nothing.
Man, that's
Yes.
sad.
You don't understand my character's backstory.
Nope. Granted, the only thing everyone knows about Talurra is the fact that she has a bounty on her, so...
A funny idea about that, but we can talk about that later.
Funny idea. It's like, how can we manipulate this?
Well, selfies count as proof. What if we faked a selfie?
What if we faked the moon landing?
I think faking a moon landing at this stage in the game is probably not as spectacular since,
Depends
people
on what
live
kind of
on
moon it
moons.
is.
Yeah,
Or if
okay,
it's
that's-
a space
True, we're going to
station.
moons all the time.
Depends on if it's
I
not
mean,
a moon, but a space station.
Deborah's people would definitely be interested because it's a moon, and moons are kind of what they do.
But yeah, for now I just figured just toss all the credits into a big group fund.
Okay.
I don't know what,
Does
like I
anyone-
said, I don't know what Zora is doing.
Does anyone else have anything they want to sell or to
Let me check my inventory.
pawn off? As it appears, Zora will purchase pretty much nearly anything.
I'm just looking through myself. I'm like, wow, I do
I
not
remember what I have.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, what stuff do I even have?
So,
I don't have.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I thought
No,
you were
go ahead.
stopping. I was just going to ask, so was the gemstones that I stole off the planet added to said group fund?
All the gemstones and all the gold pieces taken totaled up into what was piled into that grand total of 7,700.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much would I think they're asking? How much would their cut be? How much would the gems have been separate from?
Well, no. In this case, if it was all added in, then it may as well just be that, considering probably wouldn't have my own means of pawning those.
I was gonna
off.
say, and I think
Quite
the other reason is
literally, they were useless until Meriel found someone who could buy them.
Yeah, so no worries this time around.
I wrote the total in the
it's also
Discord
in
as well.
yeah, it's also in like our survival gear for the Mystery of the Silver Fleet thing. But I should just put super inventory.
Yes, super inventory. Just for a fair size comparison, so you know the scale of what you are looking at. The Penguin King is 200 feet in length which is pretty significantly sized. However, it is only considered a personal craft, which is the 250 by 250 its dimensions. And a fighter class would be less than 100 by 100. So that's like a fighter would be like an individual person craft. So the size of what Noelle is piloting is way larger than the standard mech would be in size. So nearly double, at least, if not a little more, because fighter craft could be as small as 50 by 50.
And hey, we have a lot more
dimensions.
room in our place now that we got those corpses out of our closet.
Hey.
So that's kind of the size that you're looking at, and the classification of different ships goes up significantly from there.
I say it goes exponentially very quickly.
Yes. A transport class is 500 by 500. A corvette class is 1,000 by 1,000. A frigate class is 1,500 by 1,500. For a size comparison, the boat or the freighter that Captain Arbalest brought in was a freighter class. So that was 1,500 by 1,500. Now, mind you, it only carried huge empty boxes or huge gas canisters, one of the two. But because gases are definitely a highly traded item in space, different gases harvested from different nebulas could be quite valuable.
I mean, that's how you get some alcohol and stuff like that.
Yep. Or as it's called in space, spalcohol. Because it's space alcohol.
That tracks.
That's the term I use. You would call someone who lives in a colony a collie, and they would probably call you a spacer if you live in space.
I love how excited you got there, Colliloquie.
I like that name.
I wonder why.
If they lived in a collie their whole lives, you would call them a collie, and they would probably call you a spacer if you lived in space. The term fracking is often used quite frequently instead of other F words, but, you know, you can use other F words as you see fit.
My preference is frelling because I.
That's a good one too. That's a good one too. All right, so like I said, Zora sells strange personalities you can install into your ships or mechs, either way, to give you a little bit of company for your space travels. The AI are also capable of navigating the ship if there's no pilot, autopiloting in a straight line, simple things that, you know, you could have an autopilot do. Or, hey, stay in orbit around this planet. You could tell the AI to do that as well. So say the whole party could go down to the surface, but you didn't really want to bring the ship down there. Or it was too dangerous, perhaps, to bring the ship down there. Either way, you could do that by having the AI stay in orbit around the planet or something like that. It's also capable of simple maneuvers like stay in orbit around the planet, and when we signal you, come down.
How much
And
would
it's
one of those
capable of
cost?
those kinds of things too. The AI are all the same price, and they are a low price of 250 credits.
Might be worthwhile just to get.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
He has five
Then-
different
then-
personalities he can spell you.
Hey, and then Noelle can have someone to talk to while she's calibrating the engines.
Love Farscape. Can I play a trick on the crew and set it to a space core?
I feel like personality-wise, we need to get our captain here. So let's retrieve Noelle, so she can make the decision on what personality her friend will be.
Fair enough. You go back to the ship where Noelle is calibrating the engines.
Noelle, so much money now.
Oh, so you do. Well, that's nice. Why are you in
If
my
there's-
engine room?
Well, we were wondering if you wanted to get a cut of it. Like, if there's anything you wanted for the ship.
We were thinking about getting an
Oh.
AI for the ship,
Why would we need an AI for the ship?
in case you're not on the ship.
I'm always on the ship,
Not if you're on the ground.
I suppose.
You know, when we're an away team. What if we?
It's very strange that we suddenly piloted down with the away team.
I mean, I mean, granted, though, in a pinch, I can fly the ship.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say, like, out of character-wise, Talurra's piloting is, like, a +4.
Nice.
You know, Captain Cobble gets a 10 if he's sober.
Mm-hmm.
The if he's sober is, of course, a relative term.
And then you're like, and also, you probably could use a friend while you're busy calibrating the engines.
What? I have gigs.
Oh yeah, little dragon buddy.
So I guess you don't want that then.
I mean, if you guys think it's a good idea, we can install it. I don't really care.
It could always help.
That's fair.
Also,
So
maybe
the personalities you reviewed before you left, that Zora told you about, were, and they go by the names that the personality has. You can, of course, name them whenever you want, but this is their default name. Happy, Viper, Retro, Dude, and Boom.
I assume Happy is a happy AI.
all I can picture Happy being is Yes Man from Fallout New Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Stop reading my notes. Abandoned by its last operator for its overly cheery nature, Happy does not know how to be anything but extremely happy, constantly. Happy enjoys the pilots that have a positive outlook. Then there's, of course, Viper, Retro, Dude, and Boom.
Melody. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Happy sounds like Claptrap.
Kind of, but less annoying. Not as annoying as Claptrap. I'll put it that way.
Nothing is as annoying as Claptrap.
That's a very true statement. The other personalities, Viper, obviously speaks with slurred S sounds. The AI thinks that it was once the soul of a proud, long-extinct lizard species warrior, and it enjoys pilots that have a rigid code or strict moral ethics.
Alright, so it won't fit with Noelle very well. Just the eye roll. You don't even just say anything else. Just the eye roll you gave me there was just.
Retro is a very relaxed AI that sounds more like a being that is strung out on multiple drugs. And it enjoys pilots that are carefree and tend to trust their instincts rather than plan things. Dude is a relaxed surfer bum of an AI. And it enjoys exploring new things and enjoys pilots that enjoy a good relaxing surf through a nebula.
Fun.
And then the last one, Boom. Well, it's almost self-explanatory by the name, but I'll go over the details anyway. This AI, whether on purpose or by computational error, seems to confuse the term combat and negotiations, thinking instead that combat is a conversation and that negotiations is combat. It enjoys pilots that create or enjoy explosions of any kind. Those are the AIs that Zora has, per se.
So, which one tickles your fancy, Noelle? I'm sorry they have no angelic figure, but
No Betty, huh? All right. Well,
Was there one like that one in Destiny that you like so much?
which one in Destiny? There's a few in Destiny I like so much.
Isn't there one that's like that gets like really passive aggressive at you sometimes?
The Ghost?
I mean that's just every guilty spark.
Yeah.
And they go from
was-
passive, and then they go from passive to full on aggressive.
I mean, there's what's that one? So what's his name?
I think what's his name? The robot guy?
No.
Because I know his ship was super sassy to him. That's what his
Yeah.
was. I love that ship.
Yeah, that was. Oh, you're thinking of Failsafe.
Yes, Failsafe
Yeah,
was the
that's
best
it.
one.
The bipolar computer. Yeah.
Yes.
I love Failsafe. I thought you were talking. I thought you were talking about what the fuck is his name? The dude that was on Mercury.
Yes, I know you're talking about.
His ghost.
I just can't remember his name. It is so long since I played that game.
Yeah, it's okay. Kind of went downhill.
Shocking.
Oh, no failsafe, no Betty.
Can't have shit in Space Detroit.
Can't have shit in this neighborhood.
You could always go with the friendly Muggy.
It's true. Yes, man.
Yeah, pretty much yes, man, from New Vegas.
Is the one that was on drugs fucking Dr. Good Vibes from Fallout 4?
Kinda.
Nice.
This is like if you imagine someone who's just like, whoa, man, like, I just calm down. Like, I really don't think we need to be in a hurry. Like that.
In this case, I think I know I was going to look at Talurra and be like, I honestly hate all of these AIs.
Maybe we can find a combat Betty somewhere else.
Maybe you could program in your own.
Mind you, these AIs can also be put into mechs as well to give someone to talk to while you're moving around. And the AI can do passive things as well, like scan the surrounding terrain if you're flying around a planet and stuff like that, providing the ship has scanners.
Oh no, if this AI is going in my mech, I'm getting Betty. I will wait until I find Betty.
Noelle's one true love.
It's hard to beat the magical destiny, so...
Oh yeah, okay. Whenever I get my own fighter, I'm gonna name it the Magical Destiny just to spite you.
It's not gonna spite
Love
me.
it.
It's not gonna spite me at all. Talurra is gonna love that. It'll make her laugh so fucking hard. I think more of a I think if anyone is spiting, it's gonna be it's gonna be your angel guardian.
Noelle?
Yeah.
Or Noelle?
Noelle. But yeah.
Anyway, those are the AIs that he sells. Like I said, they can help pilots or use passive systems while you're flying around and stuff like that. And I may change them up or add some more. Those are the ones that are for sale now.
If I know Zora at all, if we wait a week, he'll have
new ones. He'll have a whole new set of them.
Let's keep coming back until he has the right personality.
Yeah, that's what you do.
You
wake up on Friday at noon and check the Where's Zur calculator, and it tells you what he's saying. You go,
and then you show up and get very angry because he doesn't have the one thing you want.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Bullshit. Why can't you give me the exact thing I need?
Because chaos is the nature of the universe.
Also, I definitely think at some point, eventually, I should save up enough money to get the final word.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah. That was my main pistol.
No. The final word in this game is in Dark Matter is very different. It's a graft you can get. It's worth 50,000 credits.
Jesus.
And it's literally you get a thermonuclear bomb. It is strapped inside of you, so when you die, it goes boom.
Jesus Christ.
That would be the final word.
Okay, you win. No, wait, it's a tie.
We all lose. No, literally on a failed save, it does 1d4 mega damage, which is a d4 times 100.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I would never get that. It's one of the dumbest things, but I love it so much at the same time because it's just literally the ultimate like fuck you spite thing.
Nala would have that.
It's just, yeah, you're gonna kill me, but I will take everybody in this block with me.
And die on my terms.
Yeah.
Nala would 100% have that because her entire character summary is you didn't win.
Yeah, because I'm looking at graphs, because graphs are super fun to get for the character, and I'm like, wow, Talurra cannot make use of any of these, really. I know one that definitely would be good for Meriel would be the finger picks.
Yeah.
Ow.
Trying to find quick notes on that Betty AI you were talking about. I didn't find it.
Oh, it's something from. It's the all AIs in the MechWarrior BattleTech universe are referred to as Betty.
Oh. Okay.
Because the designation of the computer it's like a string of numbers and it always ends in BB. So the pilots all colloquially got together and just started calling their computers Bitching Betty.
Oh, got it.
Because all she does is scream at you about damage and heat and incoming missiles, and she won't shut up.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
But everybody loves Betty all the same.
It's one of those love-hate relationships.
Right, right. I should state there is also generic AI you can purchase that don't really have personality, that just kind of blankly tell you what's going on in a rather monotone voice. But, those aren't the exotic ones, so obviously...
Yeah, those aren't fun.
Those aren't fun.
Yeah, those aren't the...
They don't
those
tell
aren't
me
the
to go fuck
exotic ones.
myself.
So Zora, of course, doesn't have those.
They don't curse me out
Anyone can install.
for doing stuff. That's
Anyone.
not fun.
But I may add more to that list later and change it, but those are the ones that Zora has right now.
For now. So I guess we'll hold off on that.
We'll keep an eye on what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to check
Damn,
the website.
not even an exotic helmet or anything? What the fuck, sir? I got fucking ripped off. This is bullshit.
Yeah, you didn't have enough blue tokens, and he only takes blue tokens for exotic helmets on this Saturday. Next Saturday, it may be purple tokens. It could be red tokens. So it's hard to know. And you have no idea what those tokens are or where to find them. And he won't tell you.
Jade Rabbit.
Does not want to sell shit.
Ooh. It's got the Fellwinter helmet this week. Destiny's a terrible game now, I say, as I go look at what Xerxes actually has in Destiny.
I mean, we all have those kind of things. I always say that about Magic, too. Magic is terrible, but I'll still log on every single goddamn day just to play it.
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing he has this week that I'm actually interested in is the Jade Rabbit, so...
Which, it's funny, I already own that on my main character.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I saw you use it.
But the rest and relaxation you get during this time off is much needed and pleasant. The room they gave you at this particular space station for saving their ass from all sorts of problems last time you were here is a fairly decent room. You're welcome for the extra space and thankful to finally stretch your legs, because the Penguin King, while nice, is a bit of a cramped space. It's like living on a submarine, really. You only have 250 feet, it seems like a lot, but then when you account for the actual hull and the life support and the weapons and the computers and the engine, it's really a lot less space for people. So it's a bit of a cramped space. It's kind of like living in a closet. When you go to bed, it's like you close the door, and it's like if you've ever seen Futurama when Bender goes to his apartment and it's like a closet that's like maybe 1 by 1 foot tall enough to stand up. Yeah, that's kind of what you go to sleep in, but the walls have compartments for you to put stuff. And you strap yourself to the wall to go to sleep. So, not really very super comfortable, but, it works.
It's functional.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. In space, what is down?
Right.
Turn off the gravity and float all night.
You also note that if you happen to find some sort of strange jumping box to jump engines with, or to start a dark matter engine, you know of a planet that has 2 more spaceships you could get. Aquatic ones, too. You know of the Mesmer and the Drill Diver.
Yeah, so many things we can get.
Now that you've got some money. You also could perhaps look into purchasing another ship.
I was going to say, Noelle's over here dreaming about getting a fighter.
Well, one day, us. Nope, never. You're our pilot now. We're gonna use Warhammer 40k things. The pilot dies with the ship.
The pilot dies.
Blow up
you
the
can
ship.
also add systems to the Penguin King as well. If you wanted to add systems to the Penguin King or weapons by paying additional costs. Then again, if you don't want to keep the Penguin King, you could always ditch it and buy another one.
I feel like that's when we eventually get the other 2 ships. We just pawn that shit off.
Or Meriel, you've heard tale of some people actually exploring strange anomalies in space and finding spaceships. So you could always go explore some strange anomalies and maybe find another spaceship.
Space Hulks. Oh no.
What if we find an exotic?
I have played enough Warhammer 40k to know exploring big giant ass derelict ships is a bad idea.
It's coward talk.
Yeah, but imagine all the Technip you can find.
Imagine all the heresy you can find.
That's why you bring the heavy flamers. This shit ain't complicated.
That is true.
It's true.
I'm gonna get a heavy flame for all this heresy.
Right. Let's see. Something you also see for sale that Zora has this week is a quick slot gauntlet. A quick slot
I know
gauntlet
what that
holds
is.
a single weapon. In this case, one weapon. Some of them you've seen can hold up to 9 weapons, and you could literally just go like this with your hand, and it brings up the weapons you have stored in this quick slot gauntlet, and select the one you want, and it's in your hands.
Oh, that's cool.
Talurra.
This particular one he has holds 1.
Talurra, I don't need a gauntlet.
Right.
I got my weapons right here.
Yeah.
Oh. It just reminded me,
But
like,
he sells other versions, but this week he only has the one.
God damn it. If we had gotten that 8800, I could actually have bought a fucking fighter.
actually, here's the question. How much would a jump box be?
A jump box to jump another spacecraft would be 2,000 credits.
Honestly, do we think a good investment would be buying 2 jump boxes to jump those 2 ships?
Yeah, because we can just go and sell those ships for scrap at the very least, and the scrap alone.
I definitely
pay
think
for that.
more than just scrap. I think we can sell them as actual full-on ships.
Yeah.
We definitely want one of the aquatic ones, but we have the Penguin King.
Oh, my fighter.
The
And which
Penguin
aquatic
King,
one's better, I
you know
suppose.
of its particular systems. You know that the Mesmer also had a science lab, and the drill diver, as I stated, came with its own pressure system capable of both going through rocky and dusty surfaces as well as aquatic ones.
You say our other option could be we could jump them, take them, and start an armada, pretty much.
There's that as well.
Everybody gets a ship.
I
You
mean,
do know from what you've heard about your next mission that the ring world has very large spaceports. So you could park multiple ships there. Theoretically, all of them.
it might be worth our while to spend 4,000 of that credits just to get those 2 ships up and back again, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then from there, we can do other stuff. Hell, we could just keep the ships and, like I said, keep them and use them for if we need them in another point in the story.
How much money did you say we have?
We have 7,700. 7,700.
Could I borrow like 800 credits?
For
No reason. Noelle looks at the picture of the Saber fighter class ship she has posted on the wall. No reason.
the question is, where would you drive? Where would you put it?
I mean, you're going to a ring world anywhere
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah, we were just talking about how everyone could have a ship if we wanted.
Everyone could technically have their own, as many as you're going to end up having at this point.
Pretty much. So, do you think it's worthwhile?
800 isn't too much
Yeah,
to
no.
ask.
Honestly, so that would be 1 sec. 4,000.
I mean, as long as everybody here is okay with that, because like I don't want to just be like, give me 800 credits because I want my character to have a fucking fighter.
Well, and you can want a fighter, but then that's also useful.
It is because
Right, right.
I can work escort while we land and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if we spend 4,800 credits out of our 7,700 credits, we would have 2,900 credits left over. That might be worthwhile. What do you think, Saege?
Can't exactly argue against it. I do want to ask, as far as jumping a ship, isn't that usually just a matter of spending spell slots?
If we have the right spells. I believe.
I think jumping a Dark Matter engine is not. Is it talked about in the book? I didn't read everything.
It is, and from forgive me for referencing another campaign in the middle of this one, but with Jesse's game, it's literally just spending a spell slot of a specific level to gain that one additional jump. Basically, effectively the jump box, except using a person. We had a Warlock on board that did exactly that, and she was part of State's AAA. I think he called them the Night Riders, spelled with a K.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
It says charging a Dark Matter engine. All Dark Matter engines, regardless of type, require significant energy to charge up before a jump. Older and worn-out engines can take several hours to warm up time. Doing that, they must feed a continuous stream of magical energy. In general, assume that an engine requires a minute of warm-up time to jump. So, theoretically, if you could just channel a spell into it for a minute, it should jump as well.
So, if that's the case...
These jump boxes are kind of a technological way of doing it instead of magic.
I think literally you're one of the only people who could do a minute spell, because I only have access, Hera and I both have only access to cantrips.
Well, it's exactly
I could
my
do a
point.
minute spell.
Fighter, fighter, jump box, and spellcaster to jump the other ship. We can still feasibly pull that off and get the fighter. And I will go ahead and make mention it's a damn good idea, considering I'm not exactly familiar with the Penguin's weapons systems. It wouldn't hurt to have somebody more maneuverable and able to do additional damage outside of the ship.
That's me.
So
I'll
what
be
you're
your
saying
escort.
is just use our magic we can just use our magic to jump those things?
Theoretically, yeah. And since you know that the area is safe and there's no longer a threat within the water, you could technically take one person down there, jump one, wait a day, and jump the other one.
Also,
or take both Noelle and Zora there and jump both.
Also, for a note, if we do cut out that 4,000, we're left with 6,900 credits. Nice.
Nice.
So,
Spending the 800 to get a fighter class, yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Honestly,
I would
at that point, we might as well get 2 fighters, because then we have effectively we have 2 people who can run escort, right?
That's true. I would vote for Sage's plan then, because if we can just magically do it, there's no point in spending the money on the tech.
Mm-hmm. And also, again, like having the 2 fighters will allow us actual defensive formation. And
Yeah.
So we know definitely the captain can just fly the Penguin King.
Penguin, yeah.
So with the 2 ships, that'd leave us with 6,100 credits, which is a lot of credits still. What
And
ship?
now you have an armada.
Mm-hmm. What ship did you were you looking at for it? Like in terms of
I think it's called the Saber.
Saber is 1,100.
Yeah, because I have 300 credits on my own.
Okay.
Oh, that's what you asked for, 800.
Yeah.
Okay. So hold on. So if I do 1,100 times 2, that leaves us with 5,500 credits, which is still a whole lot of credits. Like you there's no
That
point.
still gets you money to modify ships too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mind you, all 3 of the ships you're going to have from the ocean world all have my deep dive modification, which allow them to go into deep water or high pressure situations and not be crushed. They also have only a class 1 dark matter engine. If you wanted to upgrade the dark matter engine, you could. All of them have a class 1. All of them are considered a personal size craft, which is 250 by 250 in size.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm just looking at this stuff. That's actually not a bad fighter either.
Saber, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think honestly, if we grab 2 of those, it leaves us with a good amount of credits, and we can then modify them later on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we go
you
and
can modify them.
right. Then we have at least 2 people who can, and also, I mean, person who flies the second ship, because we know one's going to be Noelle's.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm paying for like almost, you know.
We can just
chunk
toss.
of it.
No, honestly, you save your credits and just we'll use the group funds, and then you can use your money to upgrade it. To
All right,
yours.
fair enough.
I drive a
It
hard
does
bargain.
benefit everyone if there's more defensibility.
Yes.
Yeah. So who'd be the second
I
fighter pilot?
I think in terms of like Zora has a pretty good dex, right? Saege, or not? I can't remember.
Yeah, she's up there with the decks.
I
Okay.
would say like Talurra or Zora would probably be the next best 2 to pilot the ship. Talurra can, because yeah, I have a +4 to my piloting skill. Actually,
In that case, would be the second best guess then. Mine's
you-
not as high, but still.
yeah,
You know, the captain can get a 10,
but yeah, he'll fly the
Flat.
main ship.
so
He can fly
provided you
them.
can keep him sober. And who knows? Maybe there's more pilots you can find
Yeah,
elsewhere
exactly.
in the verse
For now, it'll
as
be
well.
Talurra's ship, which means I get to find a ridiculous elven name for the ship.
I was saying, what are you gonna name it?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to find out. So I'm just gonna quickly change our thing.
Noelle, I assume yours is going to have the words "fucking magic destiny" written on it,
Probably just magical destiny on the
much
side.
like Markiplier's submarine said, "I hate the ocean."
Yeah.
I was still
Excellent.
upset. I was still upset he didn't go with the USS Fuckaduck.
It's fucking the ocean. Yeah, I was too. Oh, that's a good one. All right, so you purchased some Saber class fighters. There's quite a few people here that would sell those Saber class fighters. One of which is actually the Lakshayan Empire, who is happy to sell fighters to people they know will benefit their empire in the end. To that degree, you know that Noelle actually has association with them.
I was gonna say,
that-
don't I work for these people?
You do, which is the reason that everyone's able to purchase them from them. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a hey, because these are classified as that human empire's vessel. So when they sell them to you, it's kind of like, hey, this is, maybe a bit of a bonus point if you happen to be traveling to that part of the verse.
Sweet.
Nice.
I gotta go find fucking upgrades and shit.
I'm looking at it's page
Yeah,
167
Right.
67. Okay.
on
And
the
there's some
PDF.
before that too.
Yeah. Well, I think the only one before that are the the bigger
The
ones.
systems that you can add to ships is on 162, and the Dark Matter upgrades is on 165.
God, just the description of ship melee weapons.
Yep.
And all I can picture is the jump from the jump explosion. AKA the best scene of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gosh, that was so great.
People were
That's
upset.
great
People
one.
were upset about that. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, don't bitch about it.
But it's something that they would do. It makes total logical sense that, that makes sense that someone would consider that an option. It's like a last resort. Like,
Yeah.
everything's
People were
failing.
like,
It's going to fall apart anyway. Look, I'm going to do this to save people time.
people were like, but
Punches.
why wouldn't everyone do this? Like, probably because it's really expensive to build a ship that would be able to do that consistently, and obviously it's going to be destroyed every single time.
Right. You're going to blow it up. It's a one-shot use kind of thing.
Kamikaze
Mind
weapons
you, the
aren't
AI
effective.
that you
World War
purchase
II
here
kind of
could
proved
effectively
that.
do- Right, true, yeah.
But then
Mind you,
you've
the
also-
AI you can purchase here can effectively do that. So, any of you wishing to purchase an AI for your craft, Zora can sell you the personalities I put.
Talurra's going to hold off. She's going to wait until they get a better one that fits her sensibilities a bit more.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize the Saber could take a passenger with me too. Neat.
always good if you need to make a quick mission somewhere because the sabers are kind of fast for fighter craft.
Fast AF.
They don't have a good turn. The best turn ratio you have so far, I think, is the Penguin King. Is the Penguin King being a going into Ronin form, as it were, or the mech form. What did they say? Battle frame. Sorry, battle frame form can actually 180.
Yeah.
So you effectively can about face really quickly.
I just picture it having the I don't remember which...
You don't have to actually like slow turn.
Yeah, I picture it like the one Gundam that has like all the fucking booster modules on it.
Yes.
For that ridiculous just everywhere at once pretty much movement.
Right. All right, so that's the plan.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna go pick up the other ships. Then.
All right. You grab some fighters and take the Penguin King and the rest of the crew back to the ocean world that you were on before. And you head back, and much to the chagrin of your compatriot you rescued from this planet, you land back on the planet's surface. Anyway.
God damn it, we're here again. I thought we had just escaped this place. We're not staying long. You can go get drunk again.
Good. I think I left some booze back in the hotel. He goes back to retrieve some more booze to load onto the Penguin King as you landed on the same island, knowing it's right next to where you need to go.
Exactly. Meanwhile,
and then you make your way down to the deep down, and using your depth suits that you have, the depth armor that you have, goes down there pretty easily. Now that you know there's no threats below, you go down and you see the still rotting corpse of the Leviathan you left here, not really having much that threatens it or eats it this deep down. It's just sitting there rotting, splattered up against the wall and kind of stuck to the bottom of the ocean in a really gross fashion.
Also, I 100% picture Talurra and Noelle now just pretend dog fighting to practice.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And you get down there and you channel your magic into the... Which one first? We're gonna do them both at once.
I don't know what the plan is.
You can channel magic like that too, right?
Yeah.
Well, you have a spell that takes a minute.
Yep.
Then you have one too, Zora.
I believe so.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I know Hera has a cantrip that takes a minute because she has mending, but I don't think that really applies.
Cantrip wouldn't really give you the jump you need.
Yeah.
All right, you spend a spell slot to cast a spell that at least takes a minute to cast, and channel that magic into the Dark Matter engine, which immediately fires it up and starts humming. The Mesmer Mark II is a dropship. It has communications, life support, sensors, which none of the other ships have. Oh, no, the Penguin King has sensors. A shield generator. The Mesmer has a shield, and it is, of course, pressurized, my custom modification there. The drill diver has communications, life support, sensors, a shield generator as well, and is pressurized. The drill diver comes with a ramming attack that does a forward drill attack, as it were, that does 3d8 mega piercing damage. And the Mesmer can travel underwater at 1/10 of its speed, which is 250 feet movement underwater, which is impressively fast. It also has a special attack where if either Noelle or, say, Zora channels a spell into it, it will create a hypnotic pattern effect on anyone who happens to be looking at the craft. The fins on the Mesmer actually stand up like this when you do that and create a hypnotic pattern effect across the fins, which can stun or mesmerize an opponent. That is if they happen to not resist the effect.
Cool.
And the DC for that spell is the same as the caster's DCs. So whoever has the best spell DC would be the one you'd probably want channeling that effect to maximize the effectiveness of stunning your target with hypnosis.
Nice.
And those are the special things that they have. The drill diver, I should state, can also burrow at 1/4 its speed through earth, sand, and stone. But the drill diver has the unique ability of moving at the same speed underwater that it does in space. So 2,500 feet per round. So it is very fast in space and underwater, as far as a personal craft goes. Anyway.
All right. Hey, we now.
And that's the unique properties of the ships that I doodled. And now you can enjoy the doodles I have. There's the Mesmer. Excuse my poor coloring.
It looks good.
I had colored pencils. I didn't have cool markers. And there's the drill diver. The drill diver is kind of like a gold and silver color, and the Mesmer is like a white and shades of blue. The eyes of the Mesmer are its weapon system, and the drill diver has 2 scorchers on either side. So if you want to look at the book, it says the drill diver and the Mesmer's effectiveness is a drop ship per the book, which the drop ships have
crew of an engineer, 2 gunners, a pilot, and 8 passengers. AC 13, 34 mega hit points, 8 shield points, a class 1 dark matter drive. Got communications, life support, sensors, and a shield gen, and 2 auto turrets.
The auto turrets for the drill diver are on the sides. So you have 180 on either side you can hit with the drill diver, but you can't hit in front because that drill does that kind of forward attack.
You just
and the Mesmer shoots forward, so it's got 180 degrees in front of it with its 2 auto turrets. So might be worth noting down the face of the weapons, because if you're not passing next to the side of it, the drill diver can't shoot it.
I mean, let's be honest. If you're coming head on with a drill diver, there's going to be a problem for you that's bigger than the guns.
Right. You're probably just going to want to ram it rather than,
You're going to give him the hammerhead treatment.
Right.
AKA the best ship in all of Star Wars. Fight me. You know it's true, Alt. You know it's true.
All right. So, other than my poor attempt at art there, you can also look at the Mesmer fish from Subnautica. Imagine that, but as a spaceship and not as a fish. That's kind of what this particular ship looks like.
Space fish.
Only with blue and white instead of purple. I think they used purple in the original Mesmer fish's design. There's no purple on the ship. It's blue and white. Drill diver looks nice and shiny though. It kind of has like I said, a gold and silver look to the outside of it.
Not bad.
So, if you want to write down on that party's list of equipment, you now have 2 dropships, the drill diver and the Mesmer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write those.
Basically, they're the same as the dropship from the book, but they each have their own unique weapon. Like I said, the Mesmer's got the Mesmer
Can you
tech,
type
the
them
Mesmer
down?
tech.
Because I'm terrible at typing things as I hear them.
Oh, sure. So the drill diver.
That'd
Write
be-
down their special attacks, because otherwise they're pretty much exactly the same as a dropship. It has the 3, 8.
Also, all I remember is just thinking of with Talurra, like, not ever being able to lose her weapons. I'm like, This just reminds me, as I was playing CP 2077, I'm just like, oh no, I have to disarm. Looks at fists. Whatever will I do?
So, real quick, that does remind me of a quick comic that I saw before. The druid and the monk are walking into the city, and the city guards say, no weapons allowed. So, obviously, as druid hands over his staff, the monk just kind of shrugs. And they said, the guards specifically state, even you, monk. And the next panel is the druid pushing the monk in a wheelchair because they cut off his arms and legs.
Oh no.
Yep, I've seen that comic. It's a great one.
And would provide a potion of restoration upon leaving the city. Priceless.
Well, I think the best part is my character in that game has just ridiculously augmented cyber arms. I'm like, why would anyone let me around anything? I have these arms that let me one punch people. Why am I allowed anywhere?
Yeah. Alright, so that's the special attacks that the ships have. Otherwise, like I said, they're pretty much exactly the same as dropship from
I added them to our list of things. And I'll probably post, actually, a picture. Oh, I hate that they had word wrap on this thing. God damn it. The dropship, the final thing, just the weapons, are on a separate page.
Yeah, I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I saw that in the book and I was like, really? Damn it? Really? This is so annoying. All right. I can get rid of some of those page markers. They're cluttering up the back of my book. Thank you, everyone. My book spine also thanks you. All right, so you now have a small armada of 2 fighters and 3 personal-sized ships. If only you had a hangar to park them all in.
One day.
So, anyone need to do anything else? Now, mind you, this takes about a week to do all of this, through getting there, getting the ships, getting back. So you spent a week relaxing, and then this, and buying stuff and selling and all that, and winding down from having escaped a dangerous undead laser dragon, and almost getting blown up by planet-destroying lasers. But thanks to Noelle's piloting, you survived. And then kind of a week to go get these ships and purchase them and all that stuff. So after that period of time, you spent 2 weeks kind of R&R and shopping. Does anyone have anything else they need to do or want to do? Now, mind you, there'll be an ad hoc time for the players that aren't here next session. If they want time to have purchased or done something, we'll do that before we get to the next part.
I was going to ask if we should be considering what they might want or if they'll do that themselves.
I'll give them their own ad hoc time for what they want to do, since they weren't here. That includes, of course, Deborah, since Deborah's technically not here.
There we go.
I kind of want to look into 1 or 2 different items that I might be able to purchase.
Sure.
Either a belt or bracelet or something that gives me 1 cast of mage armor a day that recharges.
You don't need that. I have free mage armor for everybody.
I know, but in the same aspect.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I figured
if you're not there on autopilot.
I mean, even on autopilot, I could still cast mage armor on everybody. Just for a note, I understand also being prepared, because that does make sense for Zora to get.
Just in case.
Okay, yeah. Because that would put me 1 point higher for my standard AC without any of my additional abilities.
Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't need
And
the armor.
Abilities.
The burden of having armor.
Right.
Really?
It's for the fashion.
Unless I can just get unless I can get some type of armor that gets me that additional point, that might be cheaper. Whichever one. And then...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then some type... I hate being in the spotlight, so I
you're
didn't
good.
want to take too much time.
And
just some other type of upgrade for my laser sword. Just something. But I don't know what.
Let's see here. Ooh, some of these grats sound like they'd be really painful to get.
Yeah, in terms of the thing, shield module would probably be what you're looking for in terms of that.
There's a problem with that.
What?
One of my abilities negates an additional bonus to AC if I have a shield.
No. Shield module is allows you to cast mage armor. It's a graft.
Oh, no. Don't want to graft. Not for this.
What armor can you use with your class?
I'm fairly certain I can use heavy if I chose.
Light and medium, or is it just light?
I've got to double check. Give me just a second. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Take your time.
I thought
It's
could
not a
use
common
everything.
question that I think everyone gets asked. Usually you stick to light or no armor in most cases, from what I've seen. But
Aha. Proficiencies. Armor. Light, medium, heavy.
oh, cool. Well, depending on how much you're willing to spend, I'm assuming you still want to keep your dex bonus.
Preferable, yes.
And you really don't want something that gives you a disadvantage to stealth? Or do you not stealth at all? I don't know.
Well, we've got, 3 other people that also do the stealthing, but
Yeah,
I think
for the
just
most
2.
part,
The shorty duo, and then there's a third shorty squad member who isn't as stealthy.
so that's one I could be convinced of losing, since we've already got 2 other stealth.
Because a nice cheap one to get that does give you a disadvantage on stealth, but it's way cheaper. For 50 credits, you could get monoplate suit. But if you get a triplate suit, it's 400 gold. They give you the same armor, 14 plus dex.
Is it 14 plus dex with cap? Or, yeah, it's with cap.
Max of 2.
Yeah, so it's
14 plus dex, max
that
2.
would actually be, I think, a downgrade for Saege, if I remember doing my math properly.
Yeah, what's your dex?
Dex is 14, so it's a +2.
Oh wow, you have a
Well,
lower than that. Yeah, you're
then-
actually.
would.
Oh,
Sorry.
a triplate suit? No, you're fine. A triplate suit would probably be pretty good.
So it would give you 16, whereas having nanofiber would give you 14. Even hexaplate would also be a good invest, just because then it would give you, a
Hexaplate
17.
750.
And also would give you 17 AC.
15 plus dex.
If I can stick.
Hmm?
You said the monoplate was 50 gold. That gives me the 1 point of additional AC that I'm looking for.
14 plus dex, yeah.
14 plus
Okay.
dex with a cap of 2 because it's medium armor, for a note.
Which isn't
You see,
affecting
that's-
you at all because you have 2. So
Yeah, I like to make sure to remind
that's-
that because that is a thing that gets forgotten sometimes.
And plus, I can just, if I'm not mistaken, that can just effectively be like a modification to my current outfit of just having like gauntlets and boots.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper Jedi
right.
is what I'm thinking.
Well, it's with the monoplate. It's similar to Stormtrooper.
Yeah,
minus the
monoplate
all-white.
is scale mail, pretty much. It's what it's replacing. So
Just who wears all white armor? That's ridiculous.
it makes you a very good
Then,
target
yeah.
anywhere except
Yeah.
for in the snowy areas.
Right.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I would definitely want to switch to that.
Okay.
So,
You can
50
get that
gold.
here. It's relatively cheap. Like I said, 50 gold or 50 credits. Sorry, gold. Gold.
Only weirdos
Such
are
a
gold.
silly currency. Yeah, what a silly currency. No, so 50 credits and you can get yourself the monoplate, and they can make it in whatever color you want. So
And-
it can be the same coloration as your armor you're currently wearing.
And Saege, if you want, you can just pull that out of the group fund because you haven't gotten anything from that yet.
That depends on what my weapon is going to cost.
The monoplate weighs 45 pounds.
45. All right.
And that's true, yeah. I mean, 50 credits is 50 credits no matter what, though, right? Like, it's not that expensive.
Exactly.
So yeah,
But yeah,
I'll subtract it from our group total. Don't worry about it. So 450.
But I don't want to take up too much more time. So if I can just do something like off screen for my weapon, that would be fine with me.
I'll take a look at it. Right now, I don't see too much that's going to be any different than what you have. Unless you get something like something special.
Like magical items would be your probably best easy way to upgrade. I know there is a.
You have a laser sword now. That's a D8 radiant,
Right.
and you can finesse it, or you can use it two-handed, and it does a D10 damage.
There is a rare item, double laser blade.
Yeah.
So Darth Maul.
Yes, the Darth Maul
Yep.
saber.
I actually was not aware that my current laser sword could be finessed with the two hands for the one or two.
It
Versatilely
depends.
used two-handed.
It depends which one. If it's a regular full laser sword, then yes, it can be finessed. If it's a half laser, it can't. Sorry. If it's a half laser sword, it can. If I'm remembering this properly.
His is a full sword, so
yeah. So then
his
I don't
is the
think
one you can.
then I don't think it
it's-
can be finessed. Yeah.
Laser sword is the same as long sword, and it says finesse with the versatile
Does it?
1d10.
I didn't think it did. I thought only the half sword did. Let me check.
No, they
Huh.
both has finesse, but the half sword is considered a light weapon, so it's finesse with a light
That's right.
weapon, which doesn't penalize you as much
That's
if you're
right,
crazy
yes.
enough to dual wield.
That's right. Oh yeah, no, because I was talking with Hera about that. I'm like, that is ridiculous because
Right.
giving a finesse weapon access to a D10 hit die is absurd.
Right, but you can't actually use it. If you're using two, it's only a D8.
But yeah,
so,
no, it's more giving access to decks.
and you have more penalties.
It's
but, yeah.
it's more like I said, giving the finesse characters access to a D10 hit die of damage, which is already a high
Right.
tier damage because it makes decks even stronger as the god stat.
Yeah, other than if you switched up to like a bigger weapon.
We'll just have to find you
wouldn't
some.
really
We'll just have
be-
to find you a magic item, eventually.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that if we need to hold off. Like I said, I didn't want to take up too much time
I mean,
about that,
hey.
and I got my
No, you're
AC
fine.
upgrades.
If we ever find a laser sword, it's going to you anyways. So
No complaints there.
Talurra, because literally, I am running into the barbarian thing or the monk thing of I don't need armor, I don't need weapons.
What do I do with my money?
I'm just gonna hoard all my money eventually, and,
Right,
and eventually
right.
I'll find a use for it. But that's what I'm running into because my weapons are my fists.
It's a Talurra right here and right here.
I don't need guns. I got these.
Right. So at this particular spaceport as well, I should add, you probably won't find a lot more than just standard items or standard ships and stuff to find.
Mhm.
A lot of the low tier ships or lower priced ships you'll find here. This isn't a major spaceport. It's not a maw. It's nothing that's like a big port of some kind. You won't probably find much more than just basic equipment here at this point. There may be other stations you'll run into later, or you could travel to that may have more advanced equipment. But as it stands right here, you'll probably just find basic stuff here. Keep in mind, if you can use martial weapons, you guys do have a wrenchinator that you found.
Yes, we do have that.
It's the big two-handed wrench.
The
that
Ratchet and
doesn't
Clank
control
wrench.
damage. Yeah,
But I think that's a bigger weapon. I know I don't have access to using it.
it's a heavy weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we offered it to Eisen, but Eisen has a better weapon with the rocket hammer, so
He has a rocket hammer, and he also has the shoulder-mounted blaster that he attached to his armor that you guys got from the one space pirate.
Pretty dope.
It didn't even move last for combat.
He stood there and just blasted it with the shoulder cannon. Oh, I love it.
Fucking main tank just goes, I got it.
granted, at least Talurra acts as a fairly good off tank with the amount of AC she has.
Yeah, you have the Dex tank.
Actually, I'm the int tank.
Oh,
My
'cause
AC
yours
is
is all,
calced off
like-
of int.
Yeah, mine's
Got
the
it.
Dex
Okay.
tank.
Int is my god
Nice.
stat.
Okay.
Granted, int versus dex would not matter all that much. Because I have a +4 to my dex and a +5 to my int, so... Ooh, ow, frig.
Okay.
Just my elbow popped.
Oh,
Normal stuff for me. Also, I just noticed that we've been recording for over 45, and the call hasn't gone down. So I'm assuming that
I was just gonna say that. I don't know if the free Zoom extended the time, but we've pretty much almost made it to 9 o'clock and haven't gotten dropped. So.
Perfect. That
Yay to future Scott not having to watch things spliced together or anyone getting an introduction to the screen.
I probably would have just cut the thing and done it myself for him just to make it easier. Because I'm like, I have all the stuff to do that. I'm not gonna... But yeah, no. This literally can pretty much... He'll just have to do... This video might not even need rendering, honestly, considering that it's a raw capture. And...
Right.
I'll have to compress it for him, but that'll be about it.
Meriel, Noelle, do either of you have anything you want to do before we...
I mean, the only thing I'm really looking for is better weapons, but I think I can find that by looting the next place we go to.
Okay.
You kill. The Riddick strategy.
You can always find something better than you can buy at a store.
Generally speaking, as far as this particular spaceport's considered, yes.
Also, let's be honest, it's way more satisfying to steal it.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or to loot it off the corpse of Biffwalen.
Exactly.
Opponent. All right, so and we're actually reaching a really good wrap-up point too. So in lieu of actually losing the Zoom call, because I'm not going to jinx it at this point since we've already pushed it past the 45 by another hour.
Yeah, we've been recording for an hour 22.
Right. So
and that was even the start of the call. Yeah,
I think this is a pretty decent time to get things wrapped up. So if anyone has anything else they want to do or purchase before we actually begin the next session, make sure you just toss it into the Discord. We'll talk about it. You can send me a message as well if there's something you wanted to do secretly as far as go to purchase something goes or whatnot that you don't want the rest of the party to know about, because you'll have time. It's been
I want to key Noelle's ship.
So you have all three of the pressurized
key my
craft.
ship.
Just write penis on it. Key the word penis on it and walk away. Your new ship now is named the Penis.
You have all three of the specialized pressurized craft, and you also have two fighter class. So mind you, the fighter class can go into the atmosphere of a normal planet. However, if the planet has a high pressure system, your fighters cannot enter the planet's surface or the atmosphere without being crushed. However, your three other craft can. So, larger planets or planets where I tell you it's a pressure system, you want to use the pressurized ships before you go down to the surface.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want to be pop canned.
Yes, yeah, it will pop can really easy. Or that Mythbusters episode where they put the diving suit filled with meat deep in the ocean and it crushed and everything got splattered up in the helmet. Yeah, that. Don't do that. So you've got a whole bunch of different things and some new ships, and next time, if everyone here makes it, we will go ahead and begin the Haunted Ring World. So that will be our next chapter. I think we're at a good wrapping up point here. So,
or we're just heading to the next port, getting ready for our next adventure.
We will have 4 jumps between here and the Haunted Ring World. So 4 jumps means you will have 4 possibilities for a random space encounter.
Also, not to mention,
random space encounters will roll from my random space encounter table I have made myself. I'm not using one from the book, so you get some specialized encounters.
Also, I realized with this too, with the amount of ships, we now have 5 ships. So that is almost 1 for each person in our party.
Pretty much, almost, yeah.
Which means
we're definitely the NPCs just pile up on the Penguin King. So,
I mean, yeah, because we're gonna get the captain to fly the Penguin King because that's the one we really care about. Or
no.
That's the one Noelle spent all that time.
Very, very old dwarf.
That's the one Noelle spent all her time calibrating the engines of.
It takes a long time to calibrate those engines, to be honest. And Noelle's pretty picky about how the engines are calibrated.
She's gonna get it done right.
Yeah. This time we can say she's polishing her spacecraft, the fighter, just polishing the outside, making sure the paint is nice and giving it a polish, painting all the letters in if there's any scratches. hammering out all the dents if it gets dented by asteroids or something. All right, so I guess we will go with plugs. Meriel, do you have any?
Just the usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm more active on Twitter. Username Colliloquie on both. My commissions are open for cute girls and other things I'm trying to branch out in. But I'm sort of just like stockpiling right now until after the holidays are over. Then I can really get started on those.
They're amazing. I got a commission recently done, and I love her. And I know Hera has commission coming up soon. Well, I think she's setting
just waiting on information.
Yeah.
Whenever Hera's ready.
Yeah, she's gonna do it soon, or at least I'm gonna yell at her tomorrow to get her to send all that information over.
No hurry. Like I said, I'm stockpiling till after the holidays. I don't feel like I should work during Christmas.
That's fair.
Seems a good time to take a vacation.
Mm-hmm. That's all for me.
All right. Noelle, do you have any plugs?
Nope.
Check out Alt's art. It's amazing.
Zora?
Nothing this time.
Okay. And our host, last but not least,
Well,
Talurra, any plugs?
check out my channel, Fractured Moon D&D. Sorry, I'm doing quick math. Every Thursday, every other week, we have at 7:30, 8 o'clock. It depends. I is very inconsistent sometimes with it. We have Saffron Academy, a bubblegum shoe magic school game. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast. Also on Sundays at 1:30 or 12:30 p.m. EST, Hera, or Nox in this game, GMs a game of masks, which we call Starfall Academy. I have 2 academy-based games on my account. It's really funny to me. Which is actually what we're going to eventually see the Colliloquie's commission for. Because we're getting her to do all of the characters, and they're going to be on the overlay, and I'm super pumped to see how they turn out, because I know they're going to look amazing.
Thank you.
So, yeah, check that out. It's a lot of fun. Last session was just a lot of chaos of our our most awkward player, or character, I should say, getting asked out on a date.
Aww.
It was adorable. They had combat training, and she sat. They sat on the poor girl, and then she asked them out on a date because that was hot.
Sat on her.
Well, it's even funnier because that character's code name is Tiefling, and they look like a tiefling.
That tracks.
They're adorable, and I love them. And that's it for me.
All right. Well, as always, check out all of our Twitters, and Scotty Hood should be back here hosting next time. Check out his art as well as his Zebediah's Guide, available on the DM's Guild. And as always, we'll see you next time, Space Cowboys.
Bye.